there, step into the command center of your company's operations, the dashboard. The dashboard gives you a bird's eye view of all your HR functions at a glance. Let's start. So this is the Team Overview widget. Here you can see the status of all your employees. The number of hours they have put in today, the number of hours they have put in this week in total, and the location where they are currently, whether it's the head office, branch office, or they are just working from home. This is the Organization Headcount widget. Here you can view the number of departments and the employee count within each department at a glance. This is the Leave Request widget. Here you can take quick actions like approve or reject on the leave requests. You can view the employee name, leave dates, and the type of leave they have applied for. If you want to go into detail, you can press View All button to go to our leave request page. This is the What's Happening widget, where you can see the clock in and clock out times of your employees in real time as soon as they clock in or out from their mobile applications. This area shows the employee documents that are expiring in the next 60 days, so you can notify the employees to renew the relevant documents. This chart shows the diversity in your organization, allowing you to proactively make informed hiring decisions. This is where all your recent announcements reside. You can inform the employees about the upcoming office dinner, code of conduct updates, or just a change in office timings. This here is the Onboarding Tasks widget. It shows the pending tasks to onboard new employee to the assignee. We can see that the admin needs to assign an employee ID, laptop, and give office tour to Emily Jones. You can mark these as done to clear them from here. This is the Company Resources widget. Here all company documents can be uploaded for easy access, such as code of conduct, company policy, and leave policy documents. The employee can click the resource and it will open the drawer with all attached files. You can download the attached files from the drawer to keep yourself up to date with the latest. This widget shows the open positions at your company and the number of applicants for those roles. Lastly, you can customize the dashboard and make it your own. You can turn any widget on and off depending on your preference. Now, let's head over to the Leave Management section. Click on Time in the main navigation bar, then click on Leave Request under Leave Management. This will bring you to the new Leave Requests page where you can see all the leave applications. This will show you the employee name, type of leave they applied, duration of leave, dates of the leave, the date of request, and any message employee may have attached. Employees can also attach documents to support their application. This will also show you approval flow for the request. This section provides you insights on the request to assist decision-making. It will display the balance of leaves before the request and any additional requests by the same employee. You can approve, reject, or delete the leave. Let's approve this leave so Mia can go on a fun holiday. Clicking Approve will open a pop-up to confirm the details one last time before it's processed. This will notify the employee on their mobile app along with an automated email in their inbox. Let's head over to the Leave Calendar, where you have more visibility on leave applications across multiple employees. Here you can see the green ones are approved and the olive ones are pending. You can click any leave application and take action right here. This view allows you to identify any conflicts or overlapping leaves in the same department to avoid any productivity issues for your company. This was all on action side of things. Now let's move over to Leave Policy Setup in your organization. So let's click Time again and click Leave Category. Here, you can set up leave categories in your company as per your internal policy. You have category name, status, leave quota per year, and whether it will be a paid leave or not. You can also edit the leave categories later if anything changes. Let's create a new category to see how it works. Click the plus sign on the top right to add. Name the leave, let's call it Leave Without Pay. Oops, my bad. Now it looks all right. Let's allow our employees to have a balance of 10 for this category. That's it. You are done, and this will be visible to all employee now. Let's make sure this is unpaid. This is how easy it is to create a leave category in the system. However, we do support complicated leave policies for enterprises with monthly additions, prorated balances, and individual leave settings for each employee. You can select leave approvers for each employee. You can also have different quota for different employees, and you can turn certain leave categories on and off as well based on variables, such as a maternity leave will only be visible to females in the organization. Now let's move towards last part of leave module where we can tweak system settings regarding leave applications. Head on to leave settings in the time module, which will allow you to set up approval flows, specify your leave calendar period for carry forwards and configure workflows. We have multi-tier approval flow in the system where you have primary approver, who have the highest authority in the organization to approve or reject leaves. This is usually head of human resource or CEO. It is very easy to select a primary approver. You click the select approver button and it opens a pop-up. Let's make Emily the primary approver instead of John. Now Emily reserves the right to have the final say on leave in the company. Then we have secondary approver, which are basically line managers or administration roles who can take action on a leave before it reaches the top. They are usually nearer to the employees, and the top management mostly relies on their call to decide what to do for the application. You can change or add the secondary approver easily as well. Let's add our administrative assistant, Mia Lopez, as secondary approver. She can now take actions on the leave applications. However, since there are multiple secondary approvers, we can also give her super approval rights, which means if she takes the action on a leave application, that will supersede all other secondary approvers. This is in order to avoid any conflicting actions that may confuse the employees. You also have the option to make it mandatory to provide reason for approving or rejecting a leave for the approvers. This is usually used by our enterprise clients to provide clarity to employees on why their leave was approved or rejected. You have to specify the leave calendar period, which is usually from the 1st of January to the 31st of December in most companies, after which some leaves are carried forward. Remaining ones are expired as per the company policy set. This concludes the tour of the leave modules. As mentioned, we do support more complicated workflows for enterprises that have complex policies. This was the overview of the leave management module in the system. Now, let's head over to roster management to manage shifts for the employees. Begin by clicking Time in the navigation bar. Here you will see shift assignment and shift templates under roster management. We will go through shift templates first. Inside shift templates, you can see the current shift templates with their name and time duration, which are morning and afternoon shift, and you can see the color assigned to each of them. I will explain shortly the purpose of color assignment. Let's also add a new shift template to understand the shift creation flow. Start by clicking the Add Shift button. This will open a pop-up. Since the morning and afternoon shifts are already there, let's make an evening shift. We will assign a color to the shift. Let's choose Misty Red as it's my favorite. The color is assigned to make sure it's distinctive when we assign shifts via the shift calendar. Then we select the start time for the shift, 4 p.m., and the end time, 11 p.m. Once you select the start and end time, you can see the shift duration, which is 7 hours. Click Add Shift button to finish and a new shift template is created. Once the shifts are set up in the system, we move to Shift Assignment. Now, this looks like a very complicated page, but it is very easy once you understand it. We will start directly by assigning shifts to employee so you can see the shift assignment flow. Let's start by assigning a shift to John on Monday the 25th of March. You can click the box to start. This will immediately open a pop-up with the shift templates that are in the system in their unique colors. Let's select the morning shift for John. The draft shift would not be visible to the employee on their mobile application as long as it's not published. So you can create the whole roster before publishing and ensure it is as per your satisfaction. The draft shift will show up with an outline in its color. We will assign some more shifts to various employees so you can see how it looks. Let's assign Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to Emma. All you have to do to bulk assign is to click and drag your cursor across the desired days, and the same pop-up would appear. We will select the afternoon shift this time. This will assign shift for all the days that were highlighted at the same time. You can also assign day off to the employees on their off days to make sure they are not marked absent. The process is same, and you click the box and select full day off for Emily. The shift calendar will also show any leaves that have been requested, so you do not assign a shift mistakenly on their leave. Let's assign some more shifts to the employees to fill up the calendar. I will just assign the newly created evening shift to Michael on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. As you can see, each shift template has its own color to make it easier for the user to distinguish between them, and day off is in gray color to separate it from the rest. Now we move on to the other components on the page. On your top left, you have a search bar where you can search specific employee via name or their employee ID. Then you have a slider to move between different weeks of the year. On the right side, you have filters, which allows you to filter the employees by departments, shifts, or status of their shift, making it easy for you to ensure you do not miss anything. Then you have the Publish button. This button would publish all the shifts, which simply means that all the employees that are assigned the shifts would receive a notification and it would be visible in their mobile application. As soon as you publish, you can see that the shifts are not filled with color instead of outline, making it clear that these are published shifts and not in draft anymore. This will be updated on employees' mobile applications. On the left, you can see high-level metrics of draft shifts, published shifts, and users that are currently without shifts, so you do not miss any shift assignment. You can export the weekly or monthly roster in Excel format to print and paste it on notice boards at your locations if you want. You have some bulk actions that you can perform, such as saving this week as a template, so you can apply this template to other weeks in bulk. You can also unassign or clear this week. This rounds up the roster management, and you can view it in day view, week view, or month view. As you can see, assigning and creating shifts is very user-friendly, and we want to reduce the number of hours wasted in the back and forth while creating rosters. Once this all is completed, it all goes to the timesheet. Let's head over there. Click Time module on the navigation bar once again. Then we go to Timesheet under Productivity Management. This page shows the timesheet for all employees during a certain date range, which is a summary of their clock-in clock-outs, attendance, and leaves. The timesheets for all employees need to be approved to process the payroll. You can see the employee ID, employee name, the regular hours they have put in, the overtime if allowed for this employee, and any type of leave they have taken. This shows the accumulated hours they have put in during the selected period. The timesheet can be approved, rejected, or edited based on the line manager's decision. The approval is necessary in large operations to ensure correct dispersal of pay. You can select a different date range, filter by certain department or approval, all in bulk. You can also search specific employee if you want to view someone's timesheet. Now let's dive into John's timesheet for further inspection. You can see the individual timesheet for John now, the start date, end date, and the total hours that have been clocked. You can switch date periods and add time manually in case of any discrepancies. You can toggle between approved, unapproved hours. You can see a high-level view of his approved, rejected, and pending hours as well. Going further down, you can see on the 4th of March Monday which shift was assigned to him, the clock-in time, the clock-out time, and the total work hours that were calculated by the system. They can also approve all at once if it's all correct. The line managers can approve, reject, or edit this entry if there's any changes. Once they have taken action on all the entries, the final timesheet would be submitted towards their payroll. You can quickly navigate between different employees and approve their timesheet one by one. Going back to the timesheet, you can now see how much of the logged hours are approved. You can also approve all pending hours for remaining employees by clicking Approve All. As soon as all hours are approved, this will be counted towards the payroll for the employees automatically. So it's important to ensure that timesheets are approved correctly before payroll is calculated. Once all the timesheets are approved, this will all flow towards the payroll. Let's head over there. Click Payroll and then Process Payroll under Payroll Events. On the Process Payroll page, you will see that we have not set up payroll yet. Don't worry, it's very easy to set it up in 3 steps. Step 1 is Pay Breakdown. This consists of creating the core components of the payroll, which are usually basic salary, housing allowance, or utility allowance, which are part of every pay. Step 2 includes the additional components that are paid based on various factors and positions, such as mobile allowance and travel allowance. Finally, Step 3 is Pay Structures, which allows you to bulk assign pay to employees based on their grades, tier, or departments as per company policy. Now let's head over to Step 1, which is Pay Breakdown. As explained, here you will add the core elements of the pay, which makes up gross pay for each employee. Let's add some components to see how easy it is to add these breakdowns. We will add basic, which is usually 65% of gross pay, housing allowance that is 20%, and transport allowance, which is 15% as the default breakdowns. These components are default building block for employees in all departments. You can add these based on your company policy. You have the option to make it as complex and as simple as you want with our exhaustive payroll settings. Once you have added the desired breakdown, let's head over to Pay Components. Click Payroll and then Pay Components. On the Pay Components page, you can add components for additions and deductions, as you can see. These components can be assigned to various pay structures on top of pay breakdowns we just made. Let's add a component to see how it works. We will add incentives/commissions for the sales department pay structure. This will only be assigned to them in addition to their pay breakdown. We will make it tax deductible, dependent upon payment days, and let's allow rounding off for convenience. We will assign an abbreviation or short code to remember it by, and lastly, we will also add a short description for clarity. We will add one more addition, annual bonus, with some tweaks in the similar way, and then head over to deductions. For deduction, we will add Provident Fund, and add the same details with other settings for this example. We will add one more deductions, which is insurance premiums, and add relevant details as well. Once all the pay components are made, we will now head over to our last step in setting up the payroll, which is Pay Structures. Click Payroll and then Pay Structures under Payroll Settings. Here, you can create new pay structures for different department or tiers in your company, allowing you to bulk assign this to employees. Click Create New button on top right to begin. Let's name the pay structure as Sales Department, Level 2. Give it a short code, SD2, and a brief description to remember that it is for the middle managers who are on Level 2 in the company. After that, you attach the pay components to it, so you can assign it to specific employees. Let's attach incentives and annual bonus under additions, and both of the deductions as well for this example. Once this is to your liking, press Next to proceed. The structures allows you the flexibility to customize the payroll as your company needs. Let's make the incentive/commissions a percentage of the basic pay, and annual bonus fixed at 5,000 dirhams. In the same way, we will assign these variables to our deductions as well. As you can see, you can either assign a percentage or a fixed amount based on the company policy and departments. Once you have customized this as per your need, you will then assign it to the relevant employees to make sure it's active. We will assign this to Noah and Alexander in the sales department and proceed. You will return back to the pay structure screen where you can see the newly created structure for sales department, the number of employees it is assigned to, and you can edit it again or archive it if it's no longer used. You can create additional structures in the same way. Now, since all this is done, let's head over to Employee Pay Breakdown to enter the amounts for specific employees. For this example, I have entered the amounts for Alexander and Noah in the sales department. It is very easy to add or edit the payroll for them. Let's click Edit to see how it's done. You will see the pop-up with payroll type, frequency, and breakdowns listed with components. Here you can enter value for each line item, which will be summed to calculate gross pay for Alexander. Now, let's process the payroll to see how simple it is for everyone. We will head over to Process Payroll section under Payroll module. Click Create on the top right side, which will give you option to either create it for all employees or selected ones. We will click Selected Employees and choose Alexander and Noah and press Next, opening a pop-up. The pop-up will ask you details about this event. Let's name it Sales Department for our reference. The payroll duration would be whole of March 2024, and the pay date would be the 4th of April 2024. Let's approve all pending timesheets for the selected employees so it's all up to date. This will fetch the latest data from the timesheets and generate the payroll for the date range for the employees selected. The payroll event consists of 4 parts. The first part is review hours, which is normally done by line manager or HR department. The second step is review leave pay, which is mostly done by line managers or HR department. Third part is additional pay, which is normally done by accountants or finance manager in your company. Lastly, you have review payroll, which is approved and submitted by CFO or director finance to ensure there are no errors. You can configure user permissions to ensure every role sees only the step that is relevant to them. Here you can see the payroll duration, number of employees, status of the event, which is draft, the pay dispersal date, and total gross payroll along with working days in the month. Below this, you can see the gross pay, days off, days present, and total hours by the employees. You will also see overtime if it's allowed for anyone. Once it's cross-checked, you can head over to Next Step. You can also save this event as draft at this stage or cancel the event altogether. The next step confirms the paid and unpaid leaves for the same employees, triggering you to approve any leave requests that may have been pending in the system. Press Next if all is well. This step is where you can edit the additions and deduction components that we added during setup. You can change the amounts for any components easily, and it will auto-calculate the gross pay based on your input. You can do this for both additions and deductions based on the variables during the selected date range. This will lead you to the last step, which is just reviewing the whole payroll. This is usually done by head of finance or CFO, who will have visibility to everything related to payroll, such as date of joining, bank details, breakdown, additions, and deductions, along with any expenses that are reimbursed. They can review this and approve, which will generate an SIF file for bank use and Excel file, which you can use for your own records. This flow allows you to minimize the errors due to the chain of command and limited scope for each role. You will now be redirected again to the Payroll Events main page, where you will see this newly created event with high-level details. This concludes the demo of the payroll module, and as you can see, it is very simple and easy to set it up and process. Now let's head over to Recruitment module. Click Recruit on the navigation bar. Here you can see job posts, talent pool, and companies, along with stage templates under workflow. We will go to stage template first. Here you can set up your recruitment process for different roles. You can see a default one in the system. You can see the stages inside it, the jobs that are currently active with this workflow. Let's create a new one for the role we will be posting. We will name it Engineering Department. The first step would be a screening call. Second would be technical round. third would be in review and then case study followed by final round. You can also assign different colors to different departments for your convenience. We can also assign stage owner for each stage who will be responsible for that, and set up email templates to trigger automatically once someone enters this stage. Once you are satisfied, you can press the button on top right to create this stage. You can see that a new stage template is now created. Now let's head over to Job Posts page to see how it works. On the job post page, you can see the current job openings, job category, company if you have multiple subsidiaries, candidates that have applied, job owners, and status, which you can change. You can also edit this job post, view candidates for this. Go to the public link where people can apply and press more for additional actions. You can download this job description in PDF to email, download a creative poster to share on social media and WhatsApp, archive or duplicate this job with one click. Let's create a new job to understand job creation flow. Press Create New and you can see the company drop down. Let's hire a front-end developer. The job category would be IT. Subcategory would be software development. You can assign a job owner to tag this to certain member of a team. The job stage template would be engineering that we just created. We will write a brief introduction for the job role. You can use this space to introduce the job and your company to potential candidates. After introduction, you have to enter job descriptions or key responsibilities. If you want, we can generate it using AI easily, which will draft this for you to edit and approve and save you a lot of time. Then we add qualifications required by the candidate. Then we add the benefits provided by the company and the closing statement with alternative options to apply. Now we reach the additional information section where you decide if the role is remote or on-site. Let's make it hybrid. Then you see employment type such as full-time, part-time, or internships. The seniority level required for the role, which is entry level in this case. You can choose to hide the salary or mention it on your job post in your desired currency. Let's make the salary range from 10,000 dirhams to 15,000 dirhams per month. You can add different skills to this job openings to make it easier for the candidates to know if they match the criteria. Lastly, you select posting date and expiry date for this job posting, after which applications will no longer be entertained. The next step is where you can toggle what you need from the candidate: their resume, LinkedIn ID, cover letter, and phone number. You can also set up screening questions, same as all other job board, where candidate would need to answer these to complete their application. You can select from a list of default screening questions, such as candidate start date, what is their visa status, and which city they are based in. Or you can create your own questions as well if you please. You can also make these knockout questions, which means they will be automatically knocked out based on the select answering criteria set and save you time while shortlisting. Then we have recruiter assessment, which is internal evaluation of the candidates. You can select pre-set questions for the job owner, so they can mention the answers for these after reviewing and evaluating the job application from potential candidates. The last step is workflow to automate the hiring process and generate auto emails on certain actions. You can select an email template to send out after candidate applies. This email can of course be personalized and edited as per your wish to have a personalized recruitment experience for the candidates. The same way you can select a template for knockout email, which is sent out the next day to ensure that candidate does not feel alienated by instant rejection after applying. Now let's head over to the white label job board where you can see all open positions. Click View Job Board to see the company careers page. This will lead you to your own custom URL for the job board and have your company name, number of employees, industry, and a brief introduction. The potential candidates can see all open positions below this and filter them by department, job type, whether it's remote or hybrid, employment type like full-time, part-time, or internship, and select any specific subsidiary they are applying for. Click the first job opening. This will open the recently created front-end developer position. As you can see, all the details we entered on the portal are here, and you can see the tasks, requirements and benefits, skills required, and other open positions below. On your right, the candidates can apply by filling the form fields required by the job. They can also enter their email to apply later or share this job by copying link, sharing on WhatsApp or LinkedIn directly from here, emailing this to someone they know. Once they apply, they will be shown here in your admin portal. Let's click the opening and see new applicants. You can see the inbox view here to view the job application. You can see their profile, which includes their answers to the form fields we selected. You can switch tabs to see the answers to the screening questions required for the job application. You can move on to the next tab, Recruiter Assessment, which the job owner needs to answer as part of candidate evaluation. You can select status if you want to move them between stages. You have notes on the right for internal team, and you can enter reminders here as well. You can add Amy to talent pool as well to add them to your database for any future hirings. You can also switch to Kanban view, where you can see the candidates in different stages that we created before job posting. You can just as easily move them through stages as well. Just click and drag the card to the next stage. This will trigger the emails configured on this stage in workflow and notify the candidate as well if it is set up. As you saw, it is very simple to move the cards, allowing you to make your recruitment seamless and quicker. Let's go to the company settings and see how to manage employees. Click Company on the navigation bar. Click Employees under Company to head over to Employee page. You can see all the employees in the company. You can see their employee ID, name, joining date, job title, and departments. You can also create new employee in a flash by clicking the button on the top right. Once the employee is added, all the details can be added in Employee Profile. Next, let's explore John's employee profile. You can see all his personal details in this tab, such as preferred name, nationality, marital status, emergency contacts, and home address. All of this can be edited and updated at will from either the employee's end or the company. Then you have Dependents, where you have the details for any dependents in case it is needed for medical insurance or visa sponsorships. Under Social, you have all the things that the employee shares over the company's intranet for his colleagues, such as his favorite movie, hobby, or interests. Next is Work tab, where all the work-related details are entered, such as job title, department, hiring date, probation end date, reporting manager, and work location. On the right, you can see the bank details and pay information for the employee. The Assets tab contain all the information about the assets that are assigned to the employee, as you can see that he currently has a company laptop in Asset History. It is very easy to assign an asset. Click Add Asset, opening a pop-up. Enter the details for the asset, in this case, a mobile phone, and click Assign. This helps you keep track of all the company assets that the employee has in event of offboarding or termination. To ensure paperless operations, we have the Documents section where essential documents are attached with all the details, such as passport, labor card, visa, and insurance card. You can also add custom document if needed easily and attach the relevant documents. The Expense tab contains the expenses that are submitted by the employee for reimbursement via the mobile application. The Current Expenses section are yet to be actioned by the company. You can add any expense here directly as well. Lastly, you have the payslips that are available to the employee via the mobile application. You can see the time period, pay date, when it is generated, and view or download the payslip on your end as well. It is very simple to navigate between employees. Just click search and you will see the drawer with all employees. Click Olivia to head over to her profile. Now let's head over to the reports section. The report module has over 15 reports related to all HR functions, such as clock in and clock out report, late coming report, overtime report, and attendance sheets. You also have Employee Master Data Report with all the data related to employees in the system. This can be exported in Excel formats when you plan to leave the system. The Leave Balance Report is also present and updated in real time. The Expense Reports and Payroll Reports provides consolidated financials for the employees. All of these reports can be exported in Excel as well as PDF and generated for any range and employee at any time. We can also create custom reports as we understand the specific needs of large organizations and enterprises.